Hey y'all, welcome to my kitchen. Today we'll be making French macarons. The first thing that you will need is almond flour, confectioner's sugar, granulated sugar, and egg whites. So the first thing you're going to do is whip up your egg whites. The recipe calls for 100 grams of egg whites, which is 3 egg whites. So what you want to do is whip it up until it gets kind of frothy. And you're doing this on medium speed. Once it gets frothy, then you're going to add in your granulated sugar, which is 50 grams of granulated sugar. And it's really important to weigh out all measurements when you're doing macarons because it's really precise. So I didn't give the cup measurements because you really need to weigh it out for it to work. So once you get your sugar in there, you put it on higher and you whip it up until you get to, I would say, medium peaks. You want it a little bit stiffer than soft peaks, but not as stiff peaks. And before you get to your peaks, if you want to add in color, you can do that. And I added in a teal color and I used gel color. So this is the consistency that you are trying to achieve. Perfect. So I'll put that aside, and what I'm doing now is sifting the dry ingredients. So that's the confectioner's sugar and the almond flour. It is extremely important that you do sift. Don't skip this step. And once it's all sifted in, I just mix it up with a whisk. So I'm putting half of my dry ingredients into my meringue. And I'm going to fold it in, making sure to keep the air in that we achieved with our egg meringue. We're going to keep the air in by folding it slowly. And once that's all incorporated, I will add the second half of the almond flour and confectioner's sugar mixture. And I just sped up the film right here so that you can see it all without me having to cut too much out, so that you know how much you have to mix it. So I added in the second amount and I'm folding that in. So this is the most important part of making macarons, and it's called the macaronage or something like that process. And this is where you're folding it in, and you need to achieve that particular consistency. So once it's all folded in, you do need to get some of the air out by scraping it against the side of the bowl, and that's what I'm doing. And you want to get to the consistency where when you pipe it out, it can kind of flatten on itself. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. And to kind of know when it's ready, you ribbon it. You pick it up with your spatula and ribbon it on itself in the bowl. And if it starts to flatten out, then you know that you're at the right consistency. So now that I'm there, I'm going to take a piping bag with a size 10 Wilton tip in it. And it's just a round tip. I'm going to put the batter in there and pipe it out onto my parchment paper. Now you can print out templates to do this, where you put the paper template under the parchment paper so that all of your macarons are the same size. And I didn't do that here. I just kind of eyeballed it, but I also wanted my macarons to be different sizes, so that's why you see some big, some small. I wanted different sizes. And once you get it all piped out, you have to bang your pan down a few times to let it settle. So that's why you see me picking up my pan and dropping it. That's what I'm doing right here. Picking it up, dropping it, turning, dropping it. So after you do that, you let your macaroons sit for 45 minutes to an hour. You want to build a crust on it before you put it in the oven. Once you put it in the oven at 285 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes, you want them to set up but not brown. So here is what they look like. I'm going to fill them with a buttercream. You can put whatever you want inside. This is just buttercream. I also have a recipe for my buttercream that I will try to link at the end. So you find two that are similar in size, you fill it with your buttercream, put the top on, and you have a French macaron. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope that this video can be helpful to somebody out there who's looking for a good recipe, because this is a tried and true recipe that I actually found on All Recipes, and I'll try to link that down below so that you can have the actual recipe. So if you like this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you want to see more recipes or cake decorating, then hit the subscribe button. All right, you guys, bye.